this, put this here, clip this on there. Job's good. That's recording. Put this on charge. Okay, let's go. More technology than you can shake a stick at. Right, got the sat nav, GoPro doing the time lapse. I've got the camera filming for YouTube's, phone doing the bits for Twitter. I've got the big camera, well, the smaller of the two big cameras doing the YouTubes. We're good to go. What's interesting is that the camera, I've managed to find, so the biggest design fault with the Sony ZV-1 blogger camera is to change the battery and to change the memory card, but the memory card doesn't need changing if you buy a big one. But the battery is underneath the camera, and supposedly the Sony was designed by vloggers for vloggers. Well, I can tell you that whoever helped them design that needs sacking, because you spend a lot of time mounting the camera on a stand, a tripod, a gimbal, whatever it might be, and the batteries don't last very long at all. So a battery will last about 40 minutes. And so if you're doing an hour-long video, you're going into it knowing you have to change the battery, which wouldn't be a problem if you have the camera all set up and you could just swap the battery out without changing the stand and the gubbins. But because the battery is at the bottom, you have to take the camera off the stand, which means getting it back, inevitably you knock over the stand, you knock the stand even a little bit, and it ruins the continuity, and it's a pain in the backside. So I've managed to find a hardwired battery which you can connect through USB to a battery pack or a power source or whatever it might be, and then you put the hardwired battery in, and then you can just run it off a source for ages, and with that battery pack it'll probably last 18 hours, which is obviously more than even I can talk. So we're good to go on that front. I don't need to change. That camera, the big camera, has a 500 gig memory card, which is more than enough for 24 hours of straight filming, and now it's got the hardwired battery connected to the battery pack, so we shouldn't have any problems with that. But it is a pain in the backside, and I wish if Sony bring out a newer version, please put the battery on the side, because there's nothing worse than having to stop halfway through and take everything apart in order to change the battery. And anyone who's ever done any type of filming past 40 minutes would have known that, and I'm amazed that they couldn't engineer a solution to that and find a way around it. Either make the batteries 2-3 times more powerful, or preferably find a way of having the battery change over without having to undo everything. So it's good. I'm feeling good. The weather's fantastic. I had a really good sleep last night.
Take the second exit at the roundabout.
Big boss let me lie in this morning, so I've had a good 12 hours sleep. So I'm going to try and drive straight through. So the first leg of the journey is 5 hours to Dover Airport. Journey's just started, and already I've discovered some issues. Number one of which, if I had my time again, I would definitely I'd remember to bring my sunglasses, because when the sun does come out, it really is quite strong. The other thing is that I've got my phone here for recording for Twitter and social medias, and then I've got the smaller of my big two cameras mounted on the passenger window there, and because of the curvature of the passenger window, it's cutting the top of my head off, which is no bad thing being as I'm bald, but it is a bit annoying because I know the guys in editing will be annoyed at me that they can't see the top of my head. So I wish I had the option, but I don't, because of the mount I've got and the way the window curves. So if I ever do an epic car journey like this one again, I'll definitely be looking into more suitable car mounts. Most of this journey is going to be in the dark. The first leg is now, which is to Dover, to the ferry port, and then 4 hours on the ferry over to Calais. Once we land in Calais, it's going to be about 11 o'clock at night, and then the rest of the journey is through the night, with us landing in Davos at around 10 o'clock in the morning. So I hope I've timed it well. A lot of thought's gone into this. I hope that I've timed it well so that the boring bit, the ferry, and then sort of through the more built-up areas of France is in the dark, and then we'll hopefully, as we land in Switzerland, as we drive through Switzerland, the sun will be coming up, and it'll be a nice clear day, and we'll get a lot of great footage there. And the other benefit of doing it through the night is that hopefully on a Sunday night, you'd like to think, or Sunday night, Monday morning, that the roads are going to be a lot quieter, so we should make good time. So that's my planning, that's my thought process around the travel times. Sunday afternoon for the UK, 7 till about 11 on the water, and then 11 till 10 in the morning across Europe. So all being well, that's the plan. I've got my passport, just double check that. I've got my passport, I've got my driver's license, because you never know who you're going to bump into and what they might want from you in terms of ID. I'm pretty sure the ID process around Davos is going to be pretty tight, but that'll be okay because they've got no problem with good guys. They're only looking for bad guys and girls, I guess, and I'm not one of them, so we'll be fine. And that's it. The car is absolutely fantastic. It's comfortable, it feels strong. It's not as luxurious, obviously, as the Range Rover, but then it is between 50 and 60,000 pounds cheaper than the Range Rover. And being completely honest, I don't think it's 60,000 pounds worse. To go from this to the Range Rover, I'd probably pay another 20,000. Whereas in reality, Big Boss's car is probably 50,000 pounds, 60,000 pounds more expensive than this car. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. I don't think this is such a fantastic vehicle. Comfy to drive, you feel high up, great driving position, everything's where it should be, feels great, it's pretty and masculine at the same time, very handsome, I guess is the right adjective. It's a very handsome vehicle, comfy as hell. I'm sat here, lovely, feels safe, it's got all the mod cons, brilliant. Nothing I'd change on this vehicle so far, but we're 20 minutes into the journey, so let's see how I feel about it after 5, 6, 10 hours of driving. Here I go again on my own. What if I say you're not like the others? Ba 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 da ba. Right, I'm back, and I think I've got the camera. To not cut off my head, which is always good. Okie dokie, we are. I'll put my disco light down. We are 29. We are 14 minutes away from Dover. And I'm a little bit later than I wanted to be, but I decided to fuel up. There was a Sainsbury's just off the junction, the motorway junction, and I thought, number one, Sainsbury's is going to be cheaper than any service station I find, and number two, I want to give myself as much time as possible to find a fuel station in France or in Switzerland, because I don't know where any are, and I'm not 100% convinced the car will know where any are. So if you tell the car, find me a fuel station here in the UK, it does it easy peasy and gives you like 8 different choices. I don't know if it's going to be smart enough to do that in Europe. So rather than risk it, I've fueled up. What is interesting is that this car's got a massive tank. So I used half a tank to get from Liverpool to Dover, and it was £95 to fuel up. Big Boss's Range Rover is £105 to fill up from empty, which makes me think that the fuel tank in the Defender is almost twice as big as it is as the one in the Range Rover. So that's interesting. The disco light seems to be working well. White is too bright. Yellow seems to be the one. And it gives like a sun effect, which is quite nice in the car. Okay. We hit a roundabout in 4.8 miles and we go straight on. Right, so here's the roundabout straight over. Queuing in the car to show my passport. I might actually have to turn my phone off because my tickets are on my phone, so I can't film and show them my documents at the same time, but we'll see. I'll keep you updated. So you guys can see me updating the guys on Twitter. Hello, how are you? P&O Irish ferries. Okay, here we go. Cars and buses.
Yeah, wrong lane.
Oh.
Literally the booth over.
Yeah.
And then it'll be this side, bottom window.
Right,
like the other booth.
Thank you, buddy.
Cheers.
Okay, so I've gone in the wrong place. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bon voyage. God, it's quite steep. You're bloody hell. You wouldn't get a Lamborghini or a Ferrari up there. That's for sure. Up we go. So I'm now actually on a bridge above the water. It's quite cool. Welcome aboard. Here we go. Over the bridge. Follow the sat nav. Right, so the first problem is that the sat nav still thinks we're in the middle of the ocean, which is a bit of a problem because I pretty much need to know. Oh, there we go, it's just updated. It now appreciates that we are in France. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday the 16th of January. It's currently 7:14 in the UK, or 8:14 here in France. France. It's raining and it's starting to get light. I've got to remember to drive on the wrong side of the road.
At the next traffic light, turn right onto the Départemental 633.
Okay. Okie dokie. Oh, and the best bit is there's no traffic lights here. Oh yeah, there is. Très fantastique. We are 303 miles away from Davos, and apparently we're going to be there for 1:25. So that's good. A couple of things I've learned on this journey. Number one is that the French absolutely love tolls, where you've got to stop and pay for the motorway. The problem with that is, one, they're expensive, but I mean, you know, I guess you just budget for that when you're traveling in France. But the bigger problem for me specifically is that I'm in a right-hand drive vehicle and all of the toll booths are automatic and they're on the left-hand side, and I can't put the window down because the camera is there. And even if I could put the window down, I wouldn't be able to reach them anyway. And basically what that means is every so often you have to stop on the motorway, get out of the car, run around the car, usually in the peeing rain, press the button, and then there's a good 15-second wait, get your ticket, run around to the back to the other side of the car, jump in, and hope that the barrier doesn't close in the time it takes you to do that, and then drive through. The other problem is that when you go to pay, it's even longer. So you have to get out the car, run around the car, put the ticket in the machine, wait 5 seconds, gives you loads of instructions in French, and then there's contactless, but it takes a minute, or it feels like a minute, when you touch the contactless for the payment to go through and the barrier to go up. And just once, I've touched the contactless, it said yeah, run round, jump back in the car, barrier hasn't gone up, and then it said, no monsieur. So I had to get out of the car, run back round, touch the thing, and of course everyone's beeping, so that's a bit of a problem. And there's nothing I can do about it, so it is what it is, I guess. I'm now leaving the hotel. I'm sat at the junction waiting for the light to go green, and then we are back on our way. So the traffic opposite me has gone 3 times, and they're on an equal, so I'm basically at like a letter H. So there's a motorway going across, and then there's 2 small roads coming up to it like this, facing each other. So I'm facing the other side now, and they've gone 3 times and we haven't gone once. What is going on here? Come on. Gonna miss Davos at this rate. Oh, how was Davos? Yeah, it was really good, thanks. I didn't actually go. Oh, how come? Well, I got to this hotel in France and then I could never leave. I just sat at a junction for weeks until the red light bulb blew. And these guys are going again. There was like, oh, not another toll. Money. Bloody hell. Oh. Right, I've got to go before the barrier drops. Go, go, go. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So you've just experienced that. I've actually got.
Now join the motorway.
Right, stop. I've actually got pretty good at doing that now. I actually haven't seen any of France yet because I was driving at night and it was really, I mean, it's raining heavy now, but it was really raining last night. So it's nice to see a bit of scenery actually. I think I've just crossed over from France into Switzerland. But it was basically just a tunnel, a big tunnel, and then, I don't know, am I being thick? I don't know, I'm very close. Yeah, I'm in Switzerland. These are all Swiss. That was the strangest thing ever. I literally just drove into a tunnel, no police, no border, no nothing, and then came out the other side of the tunnel on a bridge somehow, and then what in the hell? Yeah, definitely, because that business name's got about 17 letters in it, and everything starts with K. So we're now 139 miles from Davos. Sat-nav says we're going to get there for 1:06 this afternoon. I haven't seen anything worthy of a stop yet, but I haven't had a coffee yet, so I am going to stop at some point for a coffee. If I was to film a full YouTube video, and let's say it took me 3 hours, and then I just filmed the whole thing again, and let's say because I'm filming it for a second time, it's quicker, and it only takes me 2.5 hours, and then again 2 hours. Bloody hell. Yeah, it's a full day of filming. I want to be the best I can be, but at what cost? There's a balance, isn't there? Because I have actually got, businesses, a wife, 3 kids that I'd like to see occasionally. Or more than occasionally if possible. Yeah, it's interesting. It does beg the question, there are some YouTubers who either have a 9-to-5 job or have a part-time job or don't have a job at all. And I watch their content and they could definitely do better. Not through lack of research, not through lack of trying, but they make mistakes and don't bother editing them out, or, you know, they say things that could have been put more eloquently if they just done a second take, and they don't bother. Interesting. I did consider filming the entire journey like this, talking to you guys for the entire journey. But who wants to listen to that? Like, literally nobody. So I didn't bother. I am going to do a bit of filming on the way back, and I'm going to talk about the car, because by then I will have had, you know, well over 10 hours driving straight in the vehicle. So I've got a pretty good sense of what it's all about now. Fantastic car. It really is. If you're lucky enough to be able to afford one of these, I highly recommend you buy one. And if you have a car that you need to sell, almost doesn't matter what it is, sell it, buy one of these. If your car's more expensive than one of these, sell it, do something useful with the cash, buy one of these. Because there isn't much this car is lacking. And that's it. I'm definitely in Switzerland. I'm assuming there's snow in Davos. I hadn't really considered that. I bought various clothing, including my Canada Goose jacket, which is good to minus 30. So I think I'll be alright. But at the moment it's 4 degrees. It's basically just like the UK, and there's no snow anywhere. I saw that one bit on a mountain, but other than that, there's no snow at the moment. It's all green grass and bare trees, as you can probably see in the background out the window. Okay guys, we're on the mountain ascend to Davos. It's been a long old journey, but we are now 6.1 miles away, and it is snowy as heck. And it's actually quite interesting how quickly it went from completely dry, not a sign of snow, to, I guess outside it must be 3 feet of snow. Looks like they're stopping people here, some sort of security checkpoint. Polizia. I better look serious.
What is that?
It's a camera.
And what for?
I've been talking about the whole journey, driving the whole way.
Because this is
So. Yeah, but the vision is clear. Yeah, we've got it approved in the UK, so.
okay.
It's only 5 miles now. I did 670 miles.
Okay. Can you just
Yeah?
we have a quick look.
Yeah, of course you can. They nearly let me go, and now they've asked me to pull in. They're very interested in the camera. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Can I see your? Yes. Thank you.
Magic. They were asking about the camera, but I'm filming for Land Rover. You know, driving from the UK to Davos, and then I'm going to Hedera, which is the sponsor of the main event, to interview there. Thank you very much.
One little problem.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for your help. I appreciate it. Thanks, boys.
Thank you. Bye.
Just this way, yeah? Out that way? Yeah. Okay. He said, I'm not a protester, or at least I'm not a known protester. I'm not known to be in the Taliban. And he also said that the camera, their big problem was the camera being on that window. And what they said is in Switzerland, all windows have to be clear at all times. The journey continues. Tell you what though, it is cold. You only realise when you stood outside for a little bit how cold it is. they were really nice guys and really sensible and really nice actually. Doing a really tough job in 3 foot of snow on the side of a mountain. So I'd expect them to be a bit more grouchy if anything. But no, we're all good. They like the Defender. So that's something to take away. Maybe there's a new market there. The Switzerland Police for Defenders. So we carry on up the hill. The mount keeps falling over, which is why I keep leaning forward like that and kind of trying to get it to stick down. It's these little things, these little annoyances. There's the difference between really professional and relaxed, casino, relaxed trip and professionally filmed and so on, and one that's a bit of a nightmare with loads of choppy editing because the camera keeps falling off the dash. Looks like I'm going for option B on this trip. The other thing is this, I realise that I'm almost completely black and I really apologise for that, but the snow is so bright outside that the camera is struggling to focus on me. There you go, it's got me for a sec there. So I'm sorry about that if you're watching this, but this isn't Top Gear. I am on my own, and I probably spent less on all of my equipment than they spend on one camera. So that's it. Tell you what, I was worried about getting some good drone shots. I needn't have worried because there's a massive lake to my left. There's an ice skating rink. There's little cottages everywhere. I bet your parking's going to be a nightmare here as well. I think I was thinking I'd just turn up and just, you know, there'd be one security checkpoint that I'd get through, like we did, and then I just sort of drive up to the shop and just drop the car and run in, but that is not happening here. I tell you what, this Defender's not messing about. Oh, I don't want to go down that hill where all these people are either, because they were not getting out of there anytime soon. So now I'm stuck in traffic coming down the hill that I just came up from. So this sat-nav is saying to go down here, turn left, turn right. And that sat-nav, the one on my phone, is telling me to go up there, turn right, then turn left. No, turn left, then turn right. Two sat-navs telling me literally opposite things. Yep, I'm now driving away from where I want to be. Then we're just up here. If the sat-nav is wrong, I'm going to have a small cry and then drive home. Right, well, it's not here. Yeah, but have I though? Yeah, but is it though? At this point, it would be far quicker, dump the car and walk. This is the problem. And then the guy's gonna go, you need to go and get a badge. You need to get a sticker for your car. We are golden, okay. Job's a good one.